Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Mystery Recaps. Today I will show you World War Z, a 2013 zombie horror film, will be the subject of my presentation today. Spoilers ahead, precaution is advised. A suburban home is observed. Two children enter their parents' bedroom and leap onto the bed. Later, Gerry gives his daughters pancakes, while his wife Karen tells Rachel to get her inhaler. A government has declared martial law, which he follows in the news. Connie inquires as to what it is. Gerry explains that he was, but that he quit to be with them. On the way to school, Rachel gives Connie a toy, and then they depart. Because they are stuck in traffic, they play a game in the car. Karen ponders the quantity of helicopters in the sky. Gerry turns on the radio to hear about a rabies outbreak that originated in Taiwan and has since spread to other countries. Suddenly, a motorcyclist shatters Gerry's side view mirror, and he exits his vehicle to investigate. The street is struck by an explosion. When a truck crashes into him, a police officer on a motorbike orders him to get in the car and clears the street. Gerry follows the vehicle, believing it to be their only escape route. It crashes into another vehicle and flips over, but Gerry turns and avoids the collision. He drives through the city, which is teeming with soldiers and on the verge of a crisis. When an ambulance strikes their car, Gerry turns around to tell Rachel to fasten her seatbelt. They are all unharmed. Gerry first eliminates Connie, then Rachel from the same side. There are reports of zombies relentlessly pursuing and attacking terrified humans. A zombie woman smashes through the windscreen of a car to gain access to the occupants. So, he observes the woman's circumstance. Instantaneously, the victim transforms into a zombie. Gerry moves his family into a recreational vehicle as the other zombies attack pedestrians on the street. A zombie approaches their vehicle. Gerry rides frantically through the streets while zombies continue to assault the vehicle. They eventually arrive at a road on the outskirts of the city. Rachel suffers from an asthma attack and Karen attempts to calm her down. Gerry stops the vehicle and sits with Rachel, guiding her through the attack as she searches her backpack for a second inhaler. Karen cannot locate the medication and attempts to start the RV in order to locate a pharmacy, but it refuses to move. The phone rang for Gerry. Gerry, an ex-colleague, is the caller. He informs Gerry that his return to work will be required. They arrive in Newark and proceed to a store that has already been looted. They separated, with Karen going to get food and Gerry taking Rachel to the pharmacy to find the medication she needs. A man with a gun approaches them and inquires as to their needs. He locates the medicine for them and gives it to Gerry, along with something else that may prove beneficial. In the meantime, Connie, who is rolling alone in a cart, screams for him. Karen is being attacked when they reach her. Gerry pursues her, but the other men open fire. He fires a return shot and hits one of them. Gerry raises his hands when a police officer enters the store, but then proceeds to get his groceries. As they sprint up the stairs, in the chaos of the pursuit, the zombies breach the door and pursue the humans. They search the apartments for Connie. After losing track of her, they discover her in front of an open door where another family is present. Gerry allows them to enter. They adjust and communicate with the parents through Thomas. Their son Gerry listens to the radio and hears an urgent message. The message advises everyone to remain indoors if possible, as an unidentified virus has spread throughout the state. Gerry awakens from a nightmare when he hears a noise outside. He encounters Rachel and Thomas in another room, and Thomas informs him that Rachel was crying. Later, Gerry speaks with the father and informs him that they will have a greater chance of survival if they accompany him. Karen and the children board the chopper when it lands. A soldier protects Gerry's back so that he can board the helicopter. They continue firing upon the zombies as they throw themselves after the helicopter and fall off the building. The helicopter lands on a UN, a vessel in the Atlantic Ocean. Terry welcomes them upon arrival and leads them to their assigned box. As he directs Gerry to command, he informs the crew that they will not be dropping anchor again. He informed him that the virus's most severe effects were felt in all of the world's major cities. A virus is being discussed in a think tank located within the command station. Once the origin of the virus is discovered, Dr. Fast Block believes a vaccine could be developed. Terry identifies Fast Block as their best option for determining what the virus is and informs Gerry that the term zombie first appeared in a South Korean memo. They intend to dispatch the doctor there to investigate the cause. Unexpectedly, a general walks into command and heads directly for Gerry. Since he's been here, he's the best investigator, he informs him. Gerry guarantees he will return. The father then bids farewell to his daughters and Thomas. The plane of Gerry departs. He informs Fast Bok that he must obey the soldiers' commands. Additionally, Gerry instructs him to call out anything he deems essential so that they can act quickly. Bok believes that they will find something there, and he explains that he is sometimes to blame for the virus's most gruesome characteristic. The ship is currently removing all non-essential personnel. The aircraft lands in South Korea despite the fact that no one from the base responds to confirm that it can. When the team hears something outside, the hatch opens and they begin to evacuate. When zombies begin to attack, they withdraw cautiously. Fast, Bob is frightened and runs back to the aeroplane, where he trips over the gun and accidentally shoots himself. He informs them that only headshots are effective, but they also burn the bodies when they can. He inquires as to what Gerry will do now that Fast Bok has died. Gerry describes the memo with the word zombie. They led him to a room filled with burned bodies and explained that those were soldiers attempting to apprehend their physician. He defeated everyone. The only thing they know about how he contracted the virus is that a soldier who vanished a week ago beat him. As many as 15 men were beaten by the doctor upon his return. Unfortunately, the fire also destroyed the documents that would have allowed Gerry to track the soldier who bit the doctor. Even though he was in the midst of the zombies, Speed informs him that one of his men was not attacked. Gerry encounters and converses with a former CI agent in detention. He had been selling weapons to North Korea, but he informs Gerry that weapons are only half measures. The agent pulls out his last remaining tooth and informs him that they extracted the teeth of the entire population within 24 hours to prevent the disease's spread. Gerry refers to it as bull. The man continues by stating that Israel is the only country winning the war by surrounding Jerusalem with a wall. In addition, he tells Gerry who to find there. Later on, Gerry informs his pilot that they will be traveling to Jerusalem. Gerry and his team are prepared to board the plane by the soldiers. Spike has developed a comprehensive plan for refueling the aircraft. Gerry and his team ride bicycles to the plane, while snipers protect the soldiers' backs by surrounding the base. Before delivering the fuel, Steve informs them over the radio that they must be quiet and board the aircraft. While they are traveling, Karen calls Gerry, whose ringtone awakens the zombies. The men continue to move while being pursued by zombies. When Spook uses the fuel truck to destroy a group of enemies, Gerry and his team fight zombies in front of the aircraft as refueling begins. While Gerry is being loaded onto the ship, the zombie that attacked him and spoke to him bites himself. Speak informs his men that he will kill himself prior to turning. From the plane, Gerry observes him doing it. Brian tells Gerry that they intercepted a message from an Indian general in which he mentioned fighting zombies. Gerry does not believe that was the deciding factor for the veteran agent. They reach the city's entrance wall at last. Zombies assemble at the wall. People inside begin to celebrate the possibility of their salvation. Due to the increasing volume of the singing, the zombies are driven to the wall, where they begin to scale it. Gerry asks Warm Brown if he could enter India and what he should search for. However, the agent informs him that he can only attempt to conceal himself. The Israeli army is helpless as the zombies advance deeper into the city. Gerry runs with the crowd pursued by zombies until a soldier detonates a grenade. The pilot of Gerry's plane is informed that the city has been breached and that zombies are on their way to the airport. Gerry and the officers are pursued by a mass of zombies. Second loses one hand, but does not become a zombie. The last remaining survivors run towards the chopper that has arrived to rescue them, but it is attacked by a group of zombies and destroyed. As Gerry approaches the airport, his pilot demands an immediate departure. He observes his plane already in the air. They prevent another plane from departing. Only Gerry and Sigurd enter the aircraft via the cockpit. Then the end. Finally, He dresses her arm and explains that he wasn't sure if amputating it would work. Suddenly, Gerry recalls the story about Officer Alice, as well as other people who have not been attacked by zombies. He realizes what they must do and calls Karen to tell her to locate Gerry. Gerry informs him that he must find a nearby research center. Upon impact, the aircraft fragments into pieces. Later, Gerry awakens while restrained and notices that Second is not in her seat. A fragment of shrapnel has seriously injured him. Gerry falls to the ground. Second abruptly appears. They locate the intended destination. The Cardiff airport has lost contact with Gerry's plane. The general on the UN ship is informed. Karen is called in to speak with Area. He speaks with his commander, who instructs him to order Karen and the children off the ship and back to the facility. Gerry has hallucinations and recurring nightmares. As he awakens, he observes his wounds healing. He then observes a person sitting next to him. As soon as Gerry awakens, he enters another room to confer with a third party. They return to inquire about his identity. The phone is presented to him. Therefore, he instructs that the number be dialed to determine his identity. Terry is surprised to see Gerry alive and introduces himself to him. It is reported that his family has been sent to a refugee camp, but Gerry is aware that they will not be safe there. The principal physician then introduces him to his team after asking what he needs from them. Gerry requests their most lethal virus with a high fatality rate in order to use it against the zombies. They tell him that he cannot make the undead sick, but Gerry explains that it is not for them, but rather for the humans. He believes the weakness of zombies is their inability to infect a sick host. Gerry believes that the individuals he observed being avoided by the zombies had a terminal illness that the zombies could detect, so that they did not attack with the lethal pathogen. Camouflage would have been the only remedy. One of the doctors understands his reasoning, so she explains that the only way to prove it would be to meet a zombie face. To face. She claims they have all the viruses, but they're all stored in the B-Wing, which is infested with approximately 80 zombies. A second doctor informs him that the zombies in the B-Wing are currently inactive. He demonstrates the route to the destination. Next, Gerry Segan and the chief physician are preparing to enter the wing containing the vaults and retrieve the virus. They enter the vaults after passing through. There is also a zombie below, which, upon hearing them, shoots her, causing all the other zombies to rush towards them. Gerry distracts the zombie so that the others may gain access to the vault. The majority of them are caught behind a door. One only is next. Gerry. Without much difficulty, he removes it. Gerry is able to gain access to the virus storage vault. When the telephone rings, he enters and attempts to open the door. Gerry enters after the doctor provides him with the passcode. He collects all of the viruses that can fit in a box. Suddenly, a zombie appears at the door, leaving Gerry no choice but to inject himself with one of the viruses. He relays a message for his family to the others, prepares one of the viruses, and injects it into his arm. Gerry waits for the virus to take effect while the zombie remains outside the vault. He decides to open the door after some time. The zombie enters, but it does not attack the man. His idea was viable. Gerry consumes a can of soda and activates the mechanism on the soda machine to divert the zombie's movement in the opposite direction. Without any trouble from the zombies, he makes his way back to the main facility. Doctors administer him a vaccine, after which he and Sega leave the facility. Gerry searches the refugee camp for his family. Everyone is present, awaiting his arrival. In the interim, his concept spreads throughout the globe. The WHO develops a vaccine that acts as camouflage, allowing humans to become invisible to zombies. This affords humanity the opportunity to combat them. Humans have also devised methods to destroy entire hordes of zombies using fire or bombs. The survivors locate one another and prepare for a war that is just beginning. Subscribing and enabling notifications will allow you to view additional videos similar to this one. Many thanks for viewing.